It's not bad to wonder why Jesus, or God, the Father, would say this to Jesus. Why would he say, "You are my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased"? Well, the obvious why is because he's beloved Son, and he can only be that beloved Son. He can only love him perfectly. So it makes perfect sense that he would say this. But why would he say it when he said it? Why is the timing and the place so important? And I think for me, what is happening here, we all agree that Jesus was not baptized for the forgiveness of his sins, but rather he was baptized as a statement of solidarity with the human race. He had been born into the human race, and now he was laying claim to that human race. I am one of you. I will be baptized and I will be part of you. If for a moment we could prescind from the idea of baptism being a forgiveness of sin and realize that the other powerful element of baptism is this invitation to be a part of the people of God. A part of the people of God. This is who we are. We are God's children, yes. But as God's children, as God's child, I belong to something else too. I belong to the community. You belong to each other. You know you cannot survive this university by yourself. If you got any honesty at all, you know you couldn't make it a day without the rest of you. I mean, you depend upon each other for life. And that's what Jesus is saying. I want to be one with them. It is okay to be human. And God says, I am so pleased with you that you will say in this way that it is okay to be a human being, that human beings are intrinsically of value. Oh, I'm so pleased with you for doing that now. I'm going to talk about this later on in the year, but this whole notion, I talk about, Lord, I'm not worthy business. Well, another word to introduce in there that I have you think about, maybe worthiness, what comes before that is a sense of valuableness. I am valuable. As Jesus was valuable to his Father, we are valuable to the Father. And the question I think that we have to ask is, how do we value ourselves? What are we willing to sell ourselves for? Maybe that's the thing we need to ask. Instead of talking about sin and things like this, what do I sell myself for? What value do I put on me? Is it only what other people tell me? Is it only when they make me feel that I'm valuable because of what I look like, or because I'm smart, or because I'm this or I'm that? Do I only get my value from outside? That's important, no doubt about it. But do I find something more within me that is the most intrinsic thing that I have, that is celebrated today? God living in me, God laying claim to me, God saying, you are valuable, I am well pleased with you. Can you picture God saying that to you? God is seeing you as valuable. And that value makes you worthy. But we have to accept that and not sell ourselves short. And just surrender to that. Jesus came out of the water, this booming voice. But it's just the beginning. It drove him into the desert. It drove him from town to town. It drove him to the hill of Galilee, of Golgotha. It drove him to the cross. And this is the same thing that will happen to us. If we accept this grace of baptism, it will drive us. It will drive us where we do not know. But we'll experience our own Calvaries. We'll experience our own suffering. And we'll experience the joy of belonging to God and knowing how well loved we are.